so we're here at London Medical, just about to go in for the Dexa scan. So let's go. Been a while, 14 weeks.
I'm a bit nervous.
It needs to be. It's going to be the leanest person everyone is.
Well,
going to think.
yeah.
Well, I hope anyway, unless
Yeah.
you've had someone uber lean the last.
No, we haven't had any uber leans.
I mean,
In fact, sorry, I've got to say, we had, I'll show you, I've done a page for you, we've had the highest lean mass index we've ever seen.
Okay, so we're back at body scan with Phil. I'm really excited, as I said, with this one because we'll find out on the scale anyway, but I'm considerably lighter and probably the leanest I have been in a long time. So it'll be interesting to see the data. And another interesting thing also is we can do a cross comparison of the before and after of my physique right now in the same place. So let's see. So before, I was saying in the video before that I was 205 pounds. I was actually about 207. And today I'm probably about 187 pounds. So quite a considerable amount. That's 20 pounds off. So as you can see, hell of a lot leaner than last time I was here. Okay,
Right,
so
Jamie, I'm going to step on the scale, yep. Jiggling, about 85, 84.9, what's the difference? Okay, alright. Okay, Jamie.
So that's almost 10.1 kilos. 10 kilos difference?
Alright.
Yeah. 10 kilos. 10 kilos since I was last here.
So, a few more seconds before we start. Okay. So this is his previous scan, and now his new scan. I mean, you're quite literally, Jamie, you can actually have a look at this, that your subcutaneous fat in your belly and trunk is just undetectable. Right. There is no, let me show you the difference. So, see last time, see this dark patch here? That's your subcutaneous fat, okay, on either side?
Yeah.
It's none. So I can't actually find, I can't actually find any subcutaneous fat to kind of grab onto. So your visceral fat reading is going to be kind of irrelevant, right? I mean, I'm supposed to be able to identify your visceral cavity. See here?
Yeah.
See that kind of grey area there?
Yeah.
That like pencil width thickness there and there?
Yeah.
Right? The bit in between is your visceral cavity, between there and there. Between there and there. Here, I can't even see it. Okay. So,
medical marvel, there you go.
a marvel, a miracle and an anomaly.
Let's go, come on.
Alright, so drum roll. So you've got your old report there, Jamie.
I haven't.
This was when? On the 4th of August?
4th of August, weighing at 94.4 kilos. So that was, if you want to go back, episode 2 of Project Pro Stage, when I had my first weigh-in the week before I started my comp prep. And now we are at 84.9 kilograms.
On the 3rd of November?
On the 3rd of November.
Which is September, October, so 3 months.
3 months.
Dead.
Yep.
Okay, here's report number 2. Right, so there are some big numbers in here, Jamie, and something you should be pretty pleased with. So, first of all,
I'm still overweight.
you're still overweight by BMI.
So by BMI, body mass index, I'm still
overweight.
I'm overweight.
Okay.
Don't.
There's a lesson for the medical profession.
BMI, yeah, overweight. Come on, overweight.
Okay. Insurance policy gets higher as your BMI goes.
So that's it. Yeah.
All right.
Great.
So visually, Jamie, you can see even between there and there, even though you were pretty low fat before, you can see the little
bit
orange
yellow
markers there. It's basically gone. I've got to say as well that when I try to locate your visceral cavity, your visceral fat, I can't actually find any subcutaneous fat. So, so when we work out the visceral fat estimate, that's the fat around your organs. I locate your subcutaneous fat, the fat you can pinch.
Yeah.
And then we look at inside, what's left of the visceral cavity. I can't find your subcutaneous fat. There's kind of none there.
So on the scanner, there's no. You'll see the footage. Obviously, we can scan to the footage while I'm talking now. He couldn't find any visceral fat.
No, subcutaneous.
Sorry, subcutaneous
fat around the, and that's around the belly, which is where all men store it. That's where most men store their fat, and I couldn't even find it. Okay. So, if we look a bit more in the detail of the numbers, okay, you might want to come around here and actually have a look. So, here on the old report, okay, if we look at your subtotal fat, if you remember we ignore the head, Jamie,
yeah,
you're carrying around 13 kilos, 13,067, so 13 kilos of body fat, okay, the subtotal line. If we now come over here, you're only at 8,672, so 8.6 kilos of fat, and that's a loss of 4.4 kilos of body fat.
So drop 4.4 kilos of body fat.
4.4 kilos of body fat, which is a lot in that time. Now you've lost quite a bit of lean mass as well, but the point of this exercise is the shredding, all right? Now I want to point out some numbers here. So we have some firsts, okay? We have some firsts. So if we look at that percent fat column, okay, reading to the subtotal line there, I've put across against it 10.8% body fat. And I am pretty much 100% certain that is the lowest male body fat figure percentage I've had at body scan.
Yes! Okay. What did I say? What did I say? Right. I will be the leanest and the lowest. So that is, you've seen the condition I'm in now, boys and girls, that is 10.8% body fat. So if anyone in your gym says that they are sub 5% body fat, show them this video and say, shh.
Exactly. Bro science. Another first on here, Jamie, is if we look now at the trunk, okay, the subtotal, this is your 9.94% body fat in the trunk. That, I'm pretty sure, is the first ever sub 10% figure on any body scan report.
Boom, there you go.
Okay, and it's in the trunk, which is where most men store their fat. Okay.
So sub 10, I've got the sub 10.
You got the sub 10. You got the sub 10. It's in there. It's not the overall, but it's in the trunk, which is pretty amazing. And you're just low overall. I mean, if you look down here, this string of ones puts you in the top 1% against the reference database. So they are great numbers as well. Coming over here, this number here, visceral fat, very, very low. To be honest with you, it's a bit of a stab in the dark because I can't locate your visceral cavity very easily. So it's low.
Yeah.
Now the interesting thing is, if we look at the change here in android gynoid ratio. So you see android gynoid ratio, it's a little bit like the hip to waist ratio, it's like belly to thigh fat.
Yeah.
You're at 0.95, over here it's gone up to 1.15. So that means proportionately you've lost more fat off your legs, and there's a little bit more fat in the belly area. Okay, proportionately.
Yeah.
You've still gone down in fat overall, but it's just where it is now. It's actually...
and I hold most of my weight.
Right.
I mean, it's always the last thing to come in my legs.
Okay.
Always, you know, I have to diet down leaner just to bring these legs in because they do store fat a lot more than I do in the upper body. Right. So that's
okay. And I mean, that's that's kind of it really. I mean, the fat journey is pretty amazing. You have scored a couple of body scan firsts. The other thing here is very in common with last time. If we look at your bone density, you had bones of steel. And you still have bones of steel, so it's kind of a little bit been on the up. It's, you know, it's not a diagnosable definitive figure, but I think you're at +2 on the very first scan. We had months back last time 2.2 and now 2.3. So your bone density is more than 120% of where we'd expect it to be for a guy your age.
So actually, based on these, I've actually increased my bone density.
Yeah, it's kind of within the margin of error, but it's just so high anyway. It's a great position to be. And this is another, you know, for anyone thinking about should I go to the gym? Yes, because that's pretty much, weights and resistance training is pretty much the best thing you can do to increase bone density.
So, what was the average bone density?
Well,
average weight of a skeleton.
Average skeleton only 2.5 to 3.5 kilos for a guy. 2.5 to 3.5 kilos. You're at 3.8 kilos.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so you are rarely heavy boned.
Yeah.
All right, and there aren't many people who can say that.
I'm big boned.
Not big, heavy.
Heavy boned. I'm heavy boned.
Wow. And this number here, your actual bone density figure, 1.46. Wow, to get over 1.2 is pretty amazing. So, yeah, pretty high. So I think you should be very pleased with that.
Yeah, I am.
You have got some great figures.
Muscle mass wise, so lean mass, how much, if you're saying, I mean, what I want to really is get a gauge of how much body fat I've dropped and how much muscle.
Okay, well you have dropped a fair bit of muscle. You've dropped about 4.9 kilos of muscle.
There you go.
Okay, so
4.9 kilos of muscle.
Yeah, so you were, again here you were about 73 kilos, now down to 68 and a bit. Okay, so that's pretty much your 5 kilos there, 73 to 68.
Yeah, so that's a lot of muscle I've dropped.
So now in the normal, you know, kind of weight loss, you know, clients, that wouldn't be a good result, but they're looking to lose fat for very different reasons.
Yeah.
Okay? You're doing a pretty rapid weight loss, but achieving your goal of very low body fat.
Yeah, I mean, my weight loss, I mean, it's been rapid. It's literally in 14 weeks, it's been £1 to £1.5 a week. So it's been consistent. But as I said, I'm happy with that purely because I put on this year. I put on about 2.2 kilos of muscle from the comparison to the last one.
Right.
And to lose 4 means a cumulative total of losing about 2 kilos of muscle from the beginning of the year.
Yep.
Which is great when you look at it as being that overall from the average of the year. I would say that's.
Well, it's actually, we actually see there, it's about 3 kilos in fact there.
Yeah.
In fact, if you want to have a look, bring the camera around and visually, we can see the journey you've been on.
So this is the entire data from all my scans.
Indeed, yeah.
Okay.
So here we've got the first scan. You can see the top line here is weight, so we increased the weight.
Yeah.
And now we've got a dramatic loss, you know, that's the decline in weight. Okay.
Yeah.
The yellow area is fat. Okay. So fat increased slightly, you know, between the very first and second scan. But look at the gap change there between there and there, much smaller.
Yeah.
Your lean mass now between second and third scans again decreasing. But and here at the top we see body fat percentage increasing and then now down to its lowest.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, some great fat results.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm very happy about that. So it's all in all successful.
Yeah.
Got the numbers that I wanted, and yeah, hit some new numbers and some new records, which is good for me.
Great.
So thanks very much for that, Phil.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
Okay.
Awesome.
Cheers.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so whenever I come to body scan, Phil always blows me away with some interesting data from previous clients. Now this guy, another new interesting one, he's going to explain to me exactly what's going on here.
Okay, so this guy, as you can see, and again you might want to bring the camera around, this guy came in here at 137 kilos, so big guy, okay?
Big guy, yeah.
So big in fact, it didn't fit on the table, and that happens quite a few times. You get guys carrying a lot of fat. So the left arm here is hanging off the table, so we actually replicate the data from the right arm to the left arm, okay? Now, yes, he's a big guy, all right? If we look at the figures here, he's carrying a full 43 kilos of body fat, okay? And he's 33% body fat. Now that number, that 33%, is a lot lower than I would have expected when I saw him. The reason why, if we go across to his lean indices here, okay, if you look at these numbers, look at his percentiles for lean.
Yeah.
99, 99. They don't get any higher than that. They don't trip over to 100. That's the highest it can be. So these numbers here, he's carrying so much lean and muscle mass, you wouldn't believe it, right? Proportionally, I dare say he's got more than you, Jamie. I hate to say that. But what this shows is that you can be fat and you can be lean at the same time. And that's the beauty of Dexa, is that we isolate fat and we isolate lean and look at them separately. Okay, so you can have a lot of fat and a lot of lean. And in fact, when people do get very big and very heavy, they are doing a natural workout every minute of the day. Just they're carrying around a 45 kilo bell bar, right?
Yeah.
You know, if we look at his fat indices, yes. So this number's very high, it's up in the 90s. High risk visceral fat, that number over 160 is high risk. And of course the BMI is where we'd expect to be, the BMI over here at obese. But a lot of that will actually be due to muscle, not to fat, okay, as your high BMI is as well. But, you know, interesting case study.
Someone can be fat and lean at the same time.
Yeah, and you could look at it from the outside and just say, right, you just need to lose fat. Well, okay, yes, he does, but you know, the muscle's already there.
But amazing, because if he did lose that body fat, he might look...
He might be competing with you.
Yeah, exactly. Ultimate transformation. I need to get this guy.
You do.
I need to get this guy on board. Strip him down, and then boom. Because a lot of people that strip down, they don't have that muscle mass that's there underneath. This guy does. So his transformation, his before and after picture, should look pretty phenomenal if he dropped that weight.
Indeed. Okay.
Awesome.
There
Thanks,
we go.
Phil.
Right, no problem.
Brilliant. I'll speak to you as soon as all the gyms getting moving and stuff like that, so we can get some stuff. But no doubt we can do some more stuff next year as well,
sure.
Especially with some of the clients' transformation and stuff like that, because I'm going to be doing some videos of people transforming and me transforming and etc. etc. So, so yeah, we'll get some involved with that as well. So cool.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, thanks very much, Phil.
Okay. Cheers, Magic. All right.
And I'll hopefully see you soon, but I'll keep you updated.
Yes, indeed.
With the videos.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
Safe trip back. So that's it for Project Pro Stage today. Hopefully you enjoyed that and interested. I can't believe that it was episode 2 when we did our first one, and now we're into the high 60s with our episodes. We are, or I am, currently 11 days out from the show. 11 days to push. Let's rock and roll. Join me in the next episode, and I will see you soon. Adios, amigos.
What the hell did you do to him, man?
I did nothing. The pavement was his enemy.